Good morning, children. Welcome back. Today we are discussing continuing the chapter reproductive health. We have already studied STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. This is also called venereal diseases or genital tract infections. Genital tract infections. We have studied some examples. The diseases spread through the sexual contact. That is called STDs. And we can also say this has a lot of examples. We have syphilis, gonorrhea, then genital warts, genital herpes, hepatitis, and STDs. There are symptoms for this. Symptoms like pelvic inflammation. What are symptoms of these STDs? Pelvic inflammation. Then slight pain on the genital region. Then in serious cases, stillbirth. Cancer, it can develop cancer. It can also called ectopic pregnancies. Ectopic pregnancies. The pregnancy happens or develop outside the prescribed place of the uterus, or in the cervix it can be. Cervix, ectopic pregnancy can develop on the cervix or outside or away from the uterus, endometrium. So ectopic pregnancies, cancer, stillbirth, pelvic inflammation are some of the symptoms of these diseases. STDs can be prevented by avoiding the sexual relationship with unknown people or multiple partners. How can we avoid STDs? By preventing sexual relationship with infected people or multiple partners. That is one reason. Second one, we can avoid always we can use condoms. These condoms, that prevent the infections of STDs. Now, we can also avoid it by timely consultation with the doctor. So, after consultation, we can take the medication. So, these are the three important points about the STDs. Now, we are coming to the next part, MTPs. Medical termination of pregnancies. That is another topic. Medical termination of pregnancies. What is MTP? Medical termination of pregnancies. Medical termination of pregnancies. This is very important method for the population control. 1/5 of the population undergoes this medical, the MTP, and on total 1/5 of the population size is being controlled every year in India by MTP. Medical treatment of pregnancy. It is also called induced abortion. In India, this MTP is legally restricted in 1971 with some restrictions. Otherwise, this MTP is being widely misused for killing the fetus. Okay, female feticide. Because of this reason, in India, in 1971, the MTP is legally regulated. After legal regulation, the MTP is now to be done for certain categories of the people. For example, those categories of the people which which are suffering from certain genital disorders. And in case the A pregnancy may hamper the health of the mother or child. In such a situation, we can suggest this MTP. In many cases, such as rape or unprotected sexual intercourse, this MTP is advised. Should be done a qualified doctor. And another important matter, it should not be misused for female feticide in our country. So, like amniocentesis, MTP is also legally controlled in our country because of the amniocentesis or female feticide. Right. Now coming to the next subtopic, that is infertility. What is infertility? It is the condition whereby a married couple cannot have children even after unprotected sexual intercourse. So even after unprotected sexual intercourse, a married couple who cannot conceive, such a situation is called infertility. Infertility can be cured. It can be cured up to a certain extent, and the defect can be either for male or female. Okay, and in case the infertility cannot be corrected, there are various methods which assist the married couple to have children. They are called assisted reproductive techniques. These are special methods, special process whereby even after marriage, if the couples do not have children, they will be given special treatment or technique, and that is called assisted reproductive techniques. Assisted reproductive techniques. These assisted reproductive techniques are done by qualified doctor in infertility clinics. What are the various types of assisted reproductive techniques? First one is in vitro fertilization. So what is this in vitro fertilization? In vitro fertilization, the fusion of the sperm with the egg takes place outside the female body in the simulated condition in the lab. Simulated or artificially created condition in the lab. The sperm allowed to fertilize with the egg in the laboratory, not in the body of the mother. That is called in vitro fertilization. Okay, in vitro fertilization, there is one step that is called embryo transfer. Embryo transfer, ET. In this embryo transfer is also called a test tube baby program. In this test tube baby program, the sperm from the donor or the parent, sperm from the male parent or from donor is collected, and fertilization takes place in the laboratory in the simulated condition. Sperm and egg is taken from the donor or the parents. Okay, sperm and egg is taken from the donor or parent, and this sperm is fertilized in the simulated condition in the laboratory. In such a case, the embryo will be allowed to divide. Okay, 8 cell stage, up to 8 embryo is allowed to divide up to 8 cell stage. So embryo will be formed outside the mother's body up to 8 cell stage, or in this case up to 8 cell stage the embryo is allowed to divide outside the mother's body. Then it is transplanted or transferred to the mother or a surrogate mother, original mother or genetical mother or surrogate mother. Surrogate mother means rendered mother. And the further development of the embryo takes place in the mother's body. That is called SIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. Okay, zygote intrafallopian transfer. Zygote intrafallopian transfer. Zygote intrafallopian transfer. So in zygote intrafallopian transfer, embryo up to 8 cell stage is allowed to divide outside of the body, and after that zygote intrafallopian transfer. Or after 8 cell stage, after 8 cell stage, after 8 cell stage, after 8 cell stage, the embryo is transferred to the uterus directly. This is called intrauterine transfer. Intrauterine transfer. What is the difference between SIFT and IUT? SIFT, the embryo up to 8 cell stage is allowed to divide and grow outside the mother's body. Then within this time, up to 8 cell embryo, the embryo is transferred to the fallopian tube of the mother's body. Fallopian tube of the mother's body. That is called SIFT. And further development takes place in the body of the mother or surrogate mother, genetical mother or surrogate mother. Then now in the intrauterine transfer, after 8 cell stage of the embryo is directly implanted or directly transferred to the uterus. So that is the difference between SIFT and IUT. Both are the part of the test tube baby program. Okay, right? Now the next one is GIFT and intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So what is GIFT and intracytoplasmic sperm injection? GIFT and intracytoplasmic sperm injection. The next one is GIFT. Gamete intrafallopian transfer. Gamete intrafallopian transfer. In this, the gamete, sperm collected from the donor or male parent. Sperm collected from the male or donor is transferred to another female who can conceive. So in gamete intrafallopian transfer, not only the sperm collected from the donor, but also the ovum or egg collected from the donor. Sperm is collected from the donor and the ovum is also collected from the donor. That can be transferred after, for example, suppose the sperm is collected, and that one can be transferred to the female's body or surrogate mother. Surrogate mother. The fertilization takes place inside the mother's body. And if the sperm has no problem, the main parent can donate the sperm, but the ovum can be taken from other female. So either sperm or ovum or both can be taken from the donor. That donor will donate sperm or ovum to the parents, vice versa. So in this way, gift means the sperm or ovum taken from the donor parents are allowed to fertilize in the mother's body or surrogate mother's body. Fertilization fertilization takes place in the mother's body or a female's body. So it will come in the group of the in vivo fertilization. In vivo fertilization. If the sperm is not sufficient, the sperm is not available, then from the donor we can take the sperm. If the sperm is available, then a rendered mother or ovum collected from the donor can be taken, and in another female it can be fertilized. So that is called a gift. Now in the next important group, that is called intracytoplasmic sperm injection. What is ICSI? ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. The sperm is collected from a donor, is directly injected into the cytoplasm of the ovum. So fertilization is effected. Right? The sperm collected from intracytoplasmic sperm injection. This is intracytoplasmic sperm injection. The sperm collected from the donor is directly injected. The sperm collected from the donor is directly injected into the cytoplasm of the ovum. Cytoplasm of the ovum. This is called a intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Then after the intracytoplasmic sperm injection, the sperm can be easily grown in the body of the genetic mother or in the body of surrogate mother. Now the next method is artificial insemination. Artificial insemination. This happens when the male partner is unable to inseminate or the sperm count is very low. The sperm taken from the donor is allowed to fertilize with the egg in the body of the mother. In the body of the mother. Okay, that is called artificial insemination. This artificial insemination is effected when the male partner is unable to inseminate or the sperm count is less. Okay, in such a case, the sperm collected from the donor is allowed to fertilize the egg in the mother's body. That is called artificial insemination. Okay, the sperm can be taken from the father or donor because the father is unable to inseminate. The number of sperm count is less. So natural insemination may not lead to the fertilization. In such cases, we adopt this technique. Anyhow, this type of art assisted reproductive technology, we have a